Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about what it takes to run for President of the United States, and that's money. And we're going to talk about how running can be impacted by money, and where candidates' money comes from or doesn't come from can tell us a whole lot. So, we're going to talk about two different pieces of news that are related under that theme. The first thing we're going to talk about is a guy named Cooperman. He is a hedge fund billionaire and a GOP mega donor. But he is having some issues coming to terms with the current Republican Party. I think most people watching this channel would agree if the statement was, it would be a terrible thing for the country if Donald Trump were to be reelected. That's a quote from him, GOP mega donor. He also said, he's a divisive human being who belongs in jail. And he even said that he would rather take a chance with progressives than a would-be dictator. A hedge fund billionaire would rather take a chance with progressives, people who realistically would take half of the money he makes every year, at least, than he would Trump. Now, I need to reiterate something. He is a GOP mega donor. This is not a liberal guy in any way, shape, or form. People that he has supported in the past include Rubio, Bush, DeSantis. He's not a liberal by any definition at all. In the current presidential primary, he threw a little bit of cash to Chris Christie. So what you can see from this is Trump has an issue, a big one, a big mega donor issue. In the past, he didn't need them, not as much as other candidates. He does now. He definitely does now. Those small amount donors that he's been relying on, that money's going to be eaten into a whole lot by legal fees. If he wants to run, he needs money, and he's going to have to get it from somewhere. And this is probably very, very telling when it comes to the attitude of other GOP mega donors. Trump's going to have a money problem. So many jokes to make right there. So we can lean into that and look at that and realize that the big dollars in the Republican Party, they want somebody else to run. Okay, the next piece of news has to do with Kennedy. Kennedy, I think by now he is officially running on a third-party ticket. He is running he's running a campaign against the, quote, elites, the political elites. A Kennedy who's actually, like, from that family. Words don't mean anything anymore in the United States. I don't know how you can run a campaign against the elites when your last name is Kennedy. If there was a political family that defined political elite in this country, it would be his. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about his money. He is pulling more money from previous Republican donors than Democratic donors. Now, there's two ways you can look at that. One is they believe he will pull more votes from the Democratic candidate than he would from the Republican candidate, so they're donating to him as a spoiler. And that's possible, but I think they've got that read all messed up. Kennedy's views on certain topics, particularly those related to public health, are probably going to make him very unappealing to most Democratic voters. where those views, they would be welcome on the Republican side of the aisle. And given the rhetoric that he is using, he seems to be aiming for the disaffected Democratic base and the Republican base. He's taking more money from Republicans. The other thing that could mean is that they actually support him. That's the other thing it could mean. You have a couple of pieces of fundraising news coming out. None of them are good for the Republican Party. It shows a Republican Party that is very similar to House Republicans. They're not united. They're divided, very, very, very much so. The other thing that Kennedy has that is unique, and I definitely think this is worth mentioning, he seems to be activating people. People that don't have a history of donations are donating to him. So much like I think West might be, somebody who could get people who normally aren't engaged in the electoral process engaged, it seems Kennedy's doing that, at least when it comes to donations. So that is something else to watch for. And at this point, as I have repeatedly said, it is way too early to tell what is going to happen in the next election. But what this tells us, and the one thing we can take away from this that actually matters, is that right now, Republican fundraising is in disarray. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.